Episode 1 Pod Racers. Command Gungan subs.
Sir!
Ah! Don't you ever knock?
Our viewership is declining.
What?
Look at the chart. With every drop of viewership, we're losing money.
For God's sake, John, we need to do something. What is it to calm down and be rational?
I have an idea, sir. Our documentary was successful. Why don't we make another one?
That's an excellent idea, John. A documentary will certainly save this company. We can make it about anything. All we need to do is just hire a couple professors.
Do you know any professors?
Oh, I know a guy.
And just what exactly are we filming here?
Something with Shakespeare. You know Twelfth Night, don't you?
I suppose. Kind of.
That works. We'll start rolling soon.
What are you two doing here?
I thought we were the only ones supposed to be scheduled.
So did I.
I was told we were shooting a documentary. Medieval theatre.
Oh dear! Oh!
Did I say something?
Don't you dare mention medieval theatre ever again! I had a very, very bad experience with it.
I'm sorry. Well, hopefully this time everything will work out for you.
Like that's ever going to happen. You look surprised, Arthur.
Don't you dare come near me! Oh!
What is going on?
This man kidnapped me!
Oh, don't be ridiculous, Arthur. That wasn't kidnapping. You came back in time for me of your own free will.
Free will? Free will? You stabbed me with a bloody sword last time!
Oh, God. Arthur, I'm sorry. That wasn't a fault of mine, Arthur. The men behind me switched swords. And besides, I came back for you a week later, out of the goodness of my heart.
Get me out of here, please!
I'm sorry, but there are 4 professors here. How are we supposed to film a coherent documentary? Simple. We will be analyzing Twelfth Night.
We will not be analyzing anything. I will not go back in time again.
Arthur, what are you talking about? Who said anything about going back in time? We can understand Shakespeare just fine right here.
Oh, well, isn't that kind of a letdown? I mean, most of the audience would expect us to repeat the same dynamic over again.
Exactly what they shan't expect us to do this time. Sequels are always better than the original. Just now let's start. What do you know about Shakespeare? Not much. You uneducated swine. Let's learn to read Shakespeare, shall we? The plot follows 2 twins, named Viola and Sebastian, both of whom are separated in a shipwreck. Viola lands on the shores of Valeria, where she disguises herself as a man to hide in Orsino's court. Orsino is in love with Olivia, who has sworn never to see a man for 7 years, due to her recently deceased brother. Orsino uses Viola, disguised as a man, to call upon Olivia. It is here where a love triangle takes shape. Viola is in love with Orsino is in love with Olivia, and Olivia is in love with Viola.
Excuse me, why are we using movie clips?
We have a deadline to meet, Arthur. We can't animate everything. Now the first thing we must learn about Shakespeare is the language. Do any of you understand this line from Twelfth Night? If music be the food of love, play on. Give me excess of it. That's fighting. The appetite may sicken, and so die. Now, what do we notice about this line?
It's in iambic pentameter.
What?
Oh, what have you done? Never interrupt him.
Shakespeare wrote all his plays in iambic pentameter. Each line consists of 1 short, unstressed syllable, followed by 1 long, stressed syllable.
That's very charming, Professor Stephen. Would you like to know what we used to do to wise guys like you in Korea? I'm sure iambic pentameter is difficult to understand, but how does it relate to Twelfth Night? Splendid question. As soon as we understand iambic pentameter, we can truly understand what Shakespeare intended about the themes of identity in Twelfth Night. Identity plays a key role in Twelfth Night. For example, we see how identity can alter one's personality. Let's address the character of Orsino.
Orsino is very self-centered, using even by Shakespeare's time, a large vocabulary. Orsino is completely obsessed with Olivia. He has no personality of his own, other than trying to impress Olivia. Even when Curio, a servant, asks him if he would like to go hunting, he turns it into something romantic. Just like here. Prior to this, Curio asks Orsino if he would like to go hunt the hart, a kind of deer. Orsino responds with, "Why? So I do. The noblest I have. Oh, when mine eyes did see Olivia first, methought she purged the air of pestilence."
Provide a source, please.
Act 1, lines 19 through 24.
Professor Stephen, could you perhaps inform us more about the themes of identity in Twelfth Night?
Certainly. The audience also gets to see how identity is altered by disguise. Not just with Viola, but with the character Olivia. Olivia dresses in all black for 7 years to mourn her recently deceased brother. She wears a veil around her head, a shield, if you will, that covers up her true identity. And of course, Shakespeare also provides commentary on the double standards of women at the time.
I think that's enough, Professor Stephen.
Now, hold on, Arthur. I think this is the most important of all. We see the double standard of a woman's role in a relationship on Act 2, Scene 4. Viola tells Orsino that she loves a woman about Orsino's age, hinting at him. Orsino remarks that a man should always marry a younger woman, and goes on about how no woman could ever love as much as he loves. No woman's heart so big to hold so much. They lack retention. Alas, their love may be called appetite. No emotion deliver. Palate that suffers sulfur, claymore and revolt. But mine is as hungry as the sea, and can digest as much. Make no compare between the love of a woman can bear me, and that I owe Olivia. Lines 93 through 101.
Are you finished yet?
Orsino's version of love is one-sided and contradictory. He later mentions that men are fickle, unlike his earlier claim.
I think it's time for Wallace to speak now.
Let him. I think I've explained Twelfth Night much better than he ever could.
Oh, don't make him angry, please.
I'm not angry, just a little bit disappointed. There seems to be a lack of respect for me around here.
As for good reason. You don't know any—
Sit down!
Oh, blimey, you killed him!
Step away from the door, Howard. That's it. You're evil. I've warned you all. Now it is my turn to explain Twelfth Night. Twelfth Night is considered a comedy, but due to the nature of the iambic pentameter, it is sometimes hard to comprehend. However, the scenarios and situations presented in Twelfth Night are reminiscent of older works of art. The mistaken identity element of Twelfth Night was heavily inspired by the medieval play called the Menechmi. And like the Roman comedies of old, everything gets resolved in a grand fashion. The main principle of these Roman comedies applies here. If it is a comedy, it ends with a wedding, and Twelfth Night certainly does. Unfortunately, something that would have been humorous in Shakespeare's time has lost its comedic value for today's modern audience. For example, many remarks by Feste, or as he's better known as, the Fool, were intended to be comedic, but to understand it completely requires a deeper examination. That, my dear friends, is where I come in, the most educated professor on Shakespeare.
Watch how OxyClean unleashes the power of oxygen, making tough stains disappear like...
Restrain him!
Put that sword down!
What's he doing? Don't do this!
Sheer joy. It's even better than you remember.
What in the blazes is going on here?
Wow.
Please don't hurt me!
Disney's all-new 30th full-length animated... It's animation.
I may have gone too far in a few places.
Do you mind explaining what just happened?
Simple, Arthur. We just analyzed Twelfth Night.
Was there a rated G massacre in Twelfth Night?
Yes, a massacre of comedy. You see, Arthur, I never really liked Twelfth Night. I respect others' opinions, but I personally can never get invested into it. The comedy simply did not age well, and too many subplots were included. I just wanted to express my views of others.
Expressing your views? You call that expressing your views?
Yes. You see, Arthur, it was my plan all along to bring everyone in here, so I could take control of the studio. I just now happen to be your boss.
All of this has been very traumatic. Could I have a week's leave, sir?
Excellent idea. You're no boss without to be raving mad to refuse you of that.
May I have a week to recuperate, sir?
Certainly not. Now clean up that mess behind you.